The Loch Ness Monster, Scotland's legendary lake creature. In the misty Highlands of Scotland, there lies a lake so deep and dark it could hide almost anything. For centuries, whispers have told of a creature living in its depths, long-necked, humpbacked, and unlike anything else on Earth. It is the Loch Ness Monster, affectionately known as a Nessie, one of the most famous cryptids in history. The legend of Nessie can be traced back over 1,500 years. The earliest written account comes from the 6th century, when the Irish monk St. Columba reportedly encountered a water beast in the River Ness. According to the story, Columba commanded the creature to retreat, and it obeyed. While this account is steeped in religious storytelling, it became the seed for something much larger. For most of history, however, the Loch Ness Monster was little more than local folklore. That changed in 1933, when a newly constructed road along the loch shore gave drivers a clear view of the water. That spring, a couple reported seeing an enormous animal rolling and plunging in the loch. Newspapers seized on the story, branding it a monster, and Nessie was propelled into the global spotlight. The following year brought what is still the most famous image associated with Nessie, the so-called surgeon's photograph. It shows a long-necked creature rising from the water, and for decades it was hailed as proof of the monster's existence. But in 1994, the photograph was revealed to be a hoax, created using a toy submarine and a sculpted head. Still, by then, Nessie had become a household name. Why has the Loch Ness Monster endured while so many other cryptids fade into obscurity? Part of the answer lies in Loch Ness itself. Stretching 23 miles long, over a mile wide, and plunging to depths of 755 feet, it holds more water than all the lakes in England and Wales combined. Its murky, peat-stained waters can hide movement, distort shapes, and make ordinary objects look extraordinary. Over the years, sightings have ranged from single humps cutting across the water to entire serpentine bodies gliding beneath the surface. Witness descriptions vary wildly. Some describe a plesiosaur-like dinosaur, others a giant eel or an oversized seal. Skeptics point to waves, drifting logs, and swimming deer as possible explanations, not to mention the human tendency to see patterns in the unknown. Science has tried to settle the question. In the 1960s and 1970s, sonar scans detected large, unexplained objects moving in the loch's depths. In 2019, a team from the University of Otago conducted an extensive environmental DNA (EDNA) survey, collecting water samples from all over the loch to identify genetic traces of any life present. The results ruled out the presence of large reptiles like plesiosaurs, but found an unusually high amount of eel DNA, leading some scientists to suggest that Nessie might be a giant eel. Despite these findings, the legend persists. Tourism in the Loch Ness area thrives on the monster's mystique, drawing thousands of visitors each year. Hotels, cruises, and even a Loch Ness Centre keep the story alive, blending science, skepticism, and spectacle. Nessie has become more than a potential animal. She's a cultural icon, a symbol of the mysterious, and a reminder that humans will always wonder what might be lurking just out of sight. The Loch Ness Monster also thrives because of its balance between plausibility and mystery. Unlike dragons or unicorns, Nessie isn't entirely impossible. The world's oceans and lakes are filled with creatures that once seemed mythical, from giant squids to deep-sea sharks discovered in recent decades. If a massive, elusive animal could exist anywhere in the British Isles, the dark, cold waters of Loch Ness would be the perfect hiding place. And perhaps that's the real heart of the legend. The Loch Ness Monster endures not because of what we know, but because of what we don't. Every ripple in the water, every unexplained sonar reading, every blurry photograph feeds the possibility that something extraordinary lies beneath the loch's surface. So, is Nessie real? Science hasn't confirmed it. But the legend has taken on a life of its own, part mystery, part hoax, part hope. And maybe that's enough. In a world where the frontiers of exploration shrink by the year, the idea that there could still be something wondrous and unknown waiting to be discovered keeps us looking out across the misty waters, scanning the horizon for a glimpse of the impossible.